What's up, my piano friends? Zach Evans here, and today we're going to talk about some simple, what I call money variations to the normal chord progression. Now, what a money variation, it's a simple variation that doesn't take a lot of extra practice time, right? Because you already learned the chord progression, but there's a couple little tricks where you can shift it to different places, and you don't have to really learn anything new, but it gives you extra variations so your songs don't all sound exactly the same. All right, so the first easy variation is called octave shifting. And all that means is we can take this exact same chord progression and we can shift it to any C on the keyboard. And if you remember, a C is just a note. If you take the two black notes, the one right below it, that's a C, right? Two black notes below it is a C. We start with our thumbs on C. But we could also start with our thumbs on this C and this C, right? Still two black notes, one below. We can play this exact same progression. It's going to sound cool in a different way, right? You could have your left thumb on this C and your right thumb on this C. You can move everything up super high and you could do. So yeah, right, maybe you have the intro up here where it's nice and more like calm. And then maybe for the chorus, you bring it down. You bring it down here and then maybe, you can even shift it lower. So it's a quick, easy way to instantly kind of multiply this chord progression across the whole keyboard. All right, now the second simple variation we could do is all we can do is basically use any of these three middle notes at any time. So originally when I taught you this progression, it's always when we're playing the C, we're always using the E as the middle note, right? And then when we play the G chord, we have the D, and then it goes back up to the E, and then it goes up to the F. But in reality, these three middle notes, you can kind of use at any time, and they're gonna give it a different feel depending what you do. So we could play the C, and we still have these outside notes the same, but we could play an F here, right? It just sounds different. It doesn't sound better or worse. It just sounds different. And you can mix them up. So you could be like, or you could be like F, E, D, E, F, E. And we can even switch to the next chord and do the same pattern. You can really mess around with changing these middle notes. And these type of patterns I hear a lot in especially worship music. So if you're on a worship team at a church, I was on one for a long time in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I would do this all the time where you can just live here. You can literally just live here the whole song, and it's always going to sound cool. It's always going to sound good. All right, so that's the second one. The third simple variation that we can do is transposing to other keys. Now, this isn't a transposition tutorial, so it's going to be a little complicated to transpose it to all the keys. But I want to show you how to transpose it to G major. The reason being, sometimes you're in the key of C down here, and the notes are too high to sing, right? Maybe you're singing, you have to sing way up here. La, 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 la. It's too high for you. Don't judge my singing voice. I'm not a singer, but you get my point. Maybe you're working with a singer and this is too high for their voice. So what you can do, if it's too high, la 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 la, is you can actually move it down to G, and now they have to sing la 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 la, and it's a lot easier to sing because it's lower. Again, I'm not a good singer, but you get the picture. If you're singing or if you're playing with a singer, you can do this. So all we're going to do, it's the exact same chord progression, but we're just going to move our thumbs up to a G. Now a G, if you take the three black notes between the first and the second one, that's the G. So move your two thumbs there, and it's, right, it sounds the same as this, but we're just moving it to this G. Now the only difference, if you'll notice, is your second finger in your left hand actually plays this F sharp instead of this F. So it's not F, right? Even though for our C, when we're playing in C, we played the white note, For this variation, you have to play the black note. So it's a little more confusing in that sense, but that's the only note that's different. So it's still, you play this, and then the rest of it's the same. So it's gonna look like this. And again, we can move this to any G on the keyboard. We can move it up here. It's almost combining octave transposition with just transposing to G major. All right, so these are some easy variations you can do, and it's nice to have a couple variations. That way when you're playing with a singer, you could have the verse sounds like this, the chorus sounds like this, the pre-chorus sounds like this, but you really don't have to learn any new notes or any new patterns. All right, hope that helped you guys out. Thanks a lot for watching. Peace out and happy practicing.